All right. What an absolute shit show that was. This is a call-in show. That's why you don't have that's why you don't have all the extra stuff on the screen here. Let me get this straightened out. There we go. There's our sponsors. Shout out to Patreon supporters and, of course, our sponsors. Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, located out of Central Arkansas and in Northwest Arkansas. Better than best results, hundreds of 5-star reviews. Give them a call today. Again, their link is provided for you down below. Again, that's Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, and, of course, the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzaria on Emma Street. Maybe you're in town tonight. You don't leave till tomorrow. You watched Arkansas basketball play last night. You watched, sadly, you went to this pitiful excuse of a football game today, and you need to go wash down your what you just saw. You need to drink it all away or whatever. Maybe get started at the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria. They've got fantastic stuff on tap, great service, great environment, fantastic pies. I had an Odd Soul 4-meat pizza last night. It was fantastic, and I ate some leftovers today. So go grab you a drink. If you need to forget tonight. Now, they won't obviously overserve you. They know what they're doing over there, but if you want to get started on Emma Street, that might be a good place to start if you happen to be in Springdale. Make your first pit stop over at the Odd Soul. Of course, shout out to Patreon supporters. I do appreciate you guys. I really do. What we saw tonight was oh man. I mean, I don't really know. I don't have enough words. I don't know what else to say. Tonight was, something's got to change. and I know that's like, we get it. Like, of course something's got to change, but I mean, something serious has got to change. Whether that's tomorrow morning, you fire another coach. I know everyone wants Sam fired. I would be shocked if they fired Sam Pittman tonight. I would be absolutely shocked by that. I'm not saying that I would condone or condemn it, but what we saw tonight, I don't know, man. I didn't think we would see another Mississippi State-like performance from the offense. The defense played their worst game they played all year. Thank God for Eric Musselman and the Razorbacks and Hog Hoops. Thank God for that. That's all. It's like, I don't understand how a team could look so ill-prepared. I don't understand how a team could come out so flat and stay that way at home. You just told all of Razorback Nation, when you were talking to the media, the head coach did, he says, you know what, Fayetteville people, they deserve a better product. They deserve something to cheer for. And man, we want to deliver it to them. What the hell was that? What did we just watch? I mean, it was awful. It was flat out terrible. It was. What makes this so confusing is that this is year 4. This was year 4, man. Like, if this were year 1, maybe even year 2, it's like, all right, well, we're not headed in the direction we thought we were headed in. And yeah, Auburn's they're picking it up. They're starting to play better. They're starting to have there's a better brand of football being played at Auburn at the moment. But that's not the case. The case tonight was year 4 head coach versus year 1 head coach, who, if he hadn't subbed in his 2s, would have blanked you on the scoreboard. If he hadn't subbed in his 2s, had they not just said by the end of the third quarter, by the way, all right. They let up and still could have scored 60 points on Arkansas. There is no freaking excuse to be this bad this far into the season, this far into your tenure as the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. There's no excuse for this. Chad Morris was fired for the similar bullshit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Chad wasn't even given a full 2 years. Now, Sam had 2021, which seems like 10 years ago. He had 2021 that is saving his ass. There's no doubt about that. If he had just won 6 games, maybe 7, and then follow that up with a 6-6 season, I don't think there's any doubt about what they're going to do at the end of the year. Now, fortunately for them, they're going to get FIU. Guys, I know they got blasted today. I think Middle Tennessee State, last I saw, beat the shit out of them. And I still don't know that that's a given. I still don't know that game's a given against a weak group of 5 school. I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you this much. The guy that's getting paid to have the answers has let this – I mean, he talks about the state all the time. He's let the state down, man. He's let the fans down. Florida, I don't know how the hell they beat Tennessee. I am so confused about that football team, about the Florida Gators. Their odds are they're not going bowling. They've got to close out the year with a pretty rough schedule. They're probably not going to go bowling. And I know Tennessee, I think, was losing to Missouri, but still, how did they beat Tennessee? And how did they let Arkansas come in and beat them? They really are. Arkansas football is the Mizzou baseball equivalent to SEC football. It is a flaming hot shit show with football. Last week, you kind of feel like it. Last week saved his ass. Last week, of course, now he's hit that threshold, right, where I guess his buyout goes up. We talked about that a little bit last week. You kind of feel like, okay, did he hit that and just think, all right, fine. We're just going to go with whatever. Like what? These guys never look enthused. They didn't look enthused to be out on the field. They didn't look prepared. Everybody was out of position. No one looked like there was any effort whatsoever. This was Chad Morris level shit once again this year. Remember the what we were saying at the beginning of the year was, well, at least they're not getting blown out, I guess. Moral victory after moral victory after moral victory. Then you had Mississippi State happen, and now you've had this happen. All along people were saying it's not as bad as it looks. It's not as bad as it looks. Well, by God, Mississippi State and Auburn beg to differ. What happened against Mississippi State and what happened tonight? What do you think Missouri's going to do when they walk in here at the end of the year? The team that we constantly look down on, even though they beat Arkansas every year, I still don't think it's a rivalry because it's not. What do you think Mizzou's going to do? They're going to come in here and they're going to beat the shit out of Arkansas when they come in here at the end of the year. Unless Arkansas, I don't know, looks like how they did against Florida. I don't know what else to say about this season. It's not even been like we say hang on for the roller coaster ride. It's going to be a crazy year. Man, it's not it's the most disappointing roller coaster ride of all time. It's like, I don't know. Silver Dollar City's closed down, fire in the hole. Maybe that's what this is. It's fire right in your hole. It is so disappointing to watch this football team. It's so depressing. And again, we're going to do a call-in segment here. I'm going to let you guys come in and drinking whiskey. It's just unbelievable. KJ was sure chumming it up with the Auburn coaches and players. Smoking Tim says this season is trash. I mean, Mizzou's beating the brakes off of Tennessee. Yeah. Mr. Kick says he's talking about Mizzou there. They're going to beat the brakes off Arkansas. I mean, I don't know. Ty, I think something happened. I think it was intentional. I think it is possible that there was a decision made about Pittman's future before the game. The only problem with that is everybody got hope after Florida. You can't tell me that that Hunter Yurachek and all those above Hunter looked at what happened against Florida and decided, no, okay, now we're going to fire you. That's the only issue. Ty, hopefully we get a real coach this time. And all these coaches we pass are doing great. Barry Odom is what is he, 7-2 on the year? Is that what someone said? Maryland seems to be better off than they were last year. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, we're going to find out a hell of a lot more about them tonight. Missouri, who hired Drinkowitz. I mean, you see what's going on, and yet Arkansas is the team that has regressed so much. I mean, God bless. How did 2021 ever happen? Like what we have seen, especially this year, how the hell did 21 ever happen? How do you fall that far back? 6 wins, 3 or 4 wins. That's where you're at. You're at 8 regular season wins with that bowl win. Okay, 6-6 the next year, and now you're looking at 3-9 or 4-8. It is that this is, I don't know. You guys tell me. This does not seem to be that. I don't know. I don't think that's where you want to be headed. If you're Hunter Yurachek, I don't know how you don't put Sam in his office and just scream at him for half an hour. Like, what the hell went into the preparation for tonight's game or for today's game? What went into this game? What were you preparing for tonight? Why do your guys look so freaking flat? They ought to be enthusiastic. You're playing for bowl eligibility. You're playing to get into a bowl game. What are you doing? What the hell was this tonight? You're fired. That performance tonight, you deserve to get your ass thrown out the office. It was horrible. Year 1, you could kind of understand it. Year 2, you're not pleased with it. Year 3, you're like, oh shit. Year 4, you're like, get the hell out. This just can't happen. This just can't happen, man. All right. We're gonna share the link here for you guys to come in if someone wants to call in. I don't give a shit what you say. Like, I don't care if you want to drop some, if you're gonna swear. I don't care. You guys know what you guys know what we do here. I mean, don't let's watch. I guess let's watch the F-bombs. Okay, fine. Keep it within reason, but you know what I'm saying. Link is provided for you guys down below in chat. I'm going to put that link also in Discord if you guys want to hop in here. If someone wants to hop in, do it. Speak now. I had a few people DM me tonight. Ty, you better share that link. It's out there. The link is out. On the bright side, Ty, you did pick Auburn to win. I did pick Auburn to win. All right, we got a caller. Hang on here. All right. What's up?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Oh, you know.
Yeah, man. My take on the Razorbacks, man. The O-line was a mess, and coach is real high up on Kennedy, and he's kind of in and out about Kennedy not getting the job done because it's like his buddy. And he pretty much used Coach Enos to give put the blame on it. It's sad right now, man. And I'm gonna say this and leave it alone, man. Razorbacks are even right now. They're even losing on a recruiting trail. There's some great talent in Little Rock, man. Like right now, I noticed that we don't have any scat backs, any 4.3 take it to the house type of running backs, and I understand it don't fit the style, but one person in particular out of Little Rock, Montario Elston Jr. from Parkview, 4'3". I mean, he's at the TCU game today, has an offer from Kansas State. He's been getting looked at by Oklahoma and surrounding schools, and his teammate is Amarion Robinson, one of the recruits, for the Razorbacks, a 4-star with that Parkview. But right now, man, they're snoozing on a lot of in-state talent, and man, he got to go, man. And I like Sam, man. It's hard to say because I mean he's a good dude, but that's not going to keep your job. But obviously, somebody likes him.
The good old boy, all G Shuck stuff is kind of fans are kind of over. Hey, can you do me a favor and turn your phone down a little bit? I'm getting real crazy feedback.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the fans are kind of over this by now. I mean, we already saw the attendance flutter out, so I don't know what to expect from here on out. You're right about the in-state talent, but man, I mean, he already lost a commitment from the number one in-state talent. It's only going to get worse. So I don't know. I don't know what anybody's holding on to at this point.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm still a Hog fan, man. I'm ride till the wheels fall off, but there got to be some changes on the hill, man. I appreciate everything you do, man. You definitely, do your thing, reporting everything going on the hill.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you.
Take it easy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not telling anybody to stop being a fan. You should be a fan, but man, I mean, you got to speak with your wallet. I've had some pushback on that a little bit, but you cannot tell me that what you saw tonight. Listen, when I say that fans should speak with their wallets, I don't mean that as something against the players. I don't mean that as something against the players. I mean that against something against the regime, which is this coaching staff, it's to Hunter Yurachek. It's the only way you can send a clear message. It's with your wallet. That's the only way you can do it, man. Stop buying the tickets. I don't know what to tell you. Well, that's not supporting the players. Of course you want to support the players. You have to think big picture. What good is it when you're losing? When you go 6-6 in a year where you're expected to win 8 or 9, in a year where you're expected to win 8 or 9 again the following year. I say again, that was the expectation. You're going to fall way shorter than you did a year ago. What you got to think big picture. What good does this do anybody? The players, future coaches, the administration, the fans. Like, what good does this do anybody? You have to think big picture. You have to speak with your wallet. It's the only form of democracy these guys are going to listen to. Okay, it's the best form of democracy. That's your power, is your wallet. Okay. Again, I'm not saying you got to come out. I'm not saying you got to come out and boo the players. Please don't do that. These kids they don't do that. Don't be a shithead to a player on Twitter. Don't do that. Don't go after them. Don't go after family members. Don't do that. That's stupid. You do need to support them. There's nothing wrong with tagging them and saying, hey, man, good try tonight. We're behind you. That's fine. You don't talk shit to them on Twitter. All right? I don't care how crazy they act on Instagram or Twitter. There's something about, I don't know, something going on in a locker room. I don't know what that's all about. Ty, do you remember what I said yesterday? Pittman is right back on the hot coals. Musselman is our savior. It's thank God for basketball. Thank God for basketball. It's crazy to think how bad. It's just crazy to think how bad they've been. We sit here and talk about how close they are all year, and we see what happens against Mississippi State, and you see what happens against Auburn. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen offensive line play this bad. I mean, guys, you almost have to go out of your way to be this horrendous. You have to almost go out of your way to be this bad up front on the offensive line. Auburn only had 5 sacks. Tonight, but it felt like 8. They did end up with 8 TFLs, but they dominated the line of scrimmage. There's no push from those guys. Now, there were a couple of holes early on. There were running backs missing the gaps, absolutely. But that didn't last long, and you got to make the most of what you have when you have it. So I just truly don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. You know, I know there's the Criswell scored tonight, so now he's the saving grace of this football team. Guys, I am big on Criswell. I want that to be perfectly clear. I like Criswell. I like what I've seen in practice. He certainly gives you hope for the future. The point that I'm making is, and you saw it a little bit tonight, he had that one drive where he scored. Hey, grats, awesome. You did it in junk time against Auburn's twos. Awesome. I'm glad they got on the board. But then you saw the drive, what was that, 2 drives before that or the drive before that? They ended the series with Criswell on the field with a sack. That's how it's been for KJ all year against the ones. All right? He doesn't have the luxury of getting to play junk time. He doesn't have the luxury of playing in a situation where he gets to go out against the twos. He's got to go out there with that offensive line and try to put something together every single drive while getting demolished. It doesn't matter who plays quarterback. The results aren't going to be any different. I think with Criswell, they'd probably be slightly worse. I'll tell you, I saw something tonight. We got to see him run through a player. We got to see him run the ball a little bit. You don't get to see that in practice, okay? They don't show us that. We don't get to see Criswell take off with the ball and run down the sidelines and absorb contact. You're not allowed to touch the quarterback. They blow the whistle. As soon as they kind of wrap him up. They do not bring those guys to the ground, and you don't really get much when you watch the quarterbacks run the ball. We finally got to see that a little bit tonight, and he showed me something there. I was happy to see that. But overall, on the year, the body of work, it wouldn't be a different result on the field. I'm telling you that, and I'm not the only person who's telling you this. I'm not the only person who covers this stuff and does this that's saying it. It doesn't matter who the hell is taking the snaps so long as that offensive line continues to play the way that they do. We've got what's up, man? How you doing? Woo Pig Podcast. What's going on?
Yo, what's up, Todd, man? How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I just wanted to come on here and show you some love, man, and talk to you about these Hogs, man.
I appreciate that.
I think we need to let everybody go, man. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Fire them all. Get rid of them all. Including the defensive staff, though?
At this point, you got to burn it down.
Yeah.
We were 6-6 last year. We gonna be what 4-8 this year. It's time to burn it down.
Hopefully they go. They don't beat FIU, bro. There ain't no way he survives if they can't get past FIU. They're not
absolutely
good.
Absolutely. If he loses to FIU, he might as well pack his bags at lunch, man, and just go home. Just quit. Don't even worry about the money. I don't even deserve the money that y'all owe me, but I don't even care about the money. The point is that we just, if we accept these mediocre 4-8s and 6-6s, we can't, as fans, we can just expect to get that every single year. So we've seen the ceiling of Pittman. 9-4 is the best he's going to be able to give us. I don't think he's going to be able to turn it around. Yes, we may lose some recruits, but at this point, if you bring in great recruits, who's to say they're going to be any better? Because they got bad coaching. That's just how I feel about it, Ty.
Who's to say, even if they keep these guys, that all these guys are going to play? Like we saw Braxton tonight, who's a true freshman who looked fantastic. Who's to say that he's coming back anyways, no matter what happens, you know?
Right.
I don't know. 4-8's not going to do it. 4-8, when you've got these proxies, and I can tell you right now, they've got proxies out talking to these players, talking to family members. I can almost all but freaking guarantee you that. That's what's happening. And of course they're going to hit remember Mike Woods. Okay. I don't want to throw anything out there, but Mike Woods left, and there were rumors about that the Friday before. Everyone knew he was going to Oklahoma before he even hit the portal. And guess what happened? That following Sunday, he hit the freaking portal. And that stuff is going to happen again. Listen, man, why would you want to stick it out? You know, and another thing too is Sam Pittman is the offensive line guru. What has he done? What has he done since being here in the draft for the offensive line, for the position that he's known for the most? They're not getting it done. I'm not seeing development. Where's the development of these players? Now, defensive side of the ball, I'm giving all the love to Travis Williams, to Woodson, the guys on that defense. They're crushing it. Tonight was horrible for them. I think some of that, I'm not supposed to be this way. I know I've got to be all, this is just whatever, but Auburn has hit their stride. They are playing better football. That's why I picked them to beat Arkansas, even though I didn't have high confidence in it. There is some of that. But for the first time this year, I would have to argue this was the worst defensive performance I have seen since maybe worse than any Barry Odom experience I've seen. I mean, I agree with you. It was horrible. But one thing I appreciate about a Hugh Freeze offense is it's a lot of window dressing. It's pretty football. Even the cameraman had a hard time figuring out where the ball was going. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So, but hey, I ain't gonna hold you time, man. I love your show, man. I love what you do. I appreciate you for letting me tap in with you. Hey, man.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah. I get
listening. I'm glad we got basketball.
Oh, bro, I'm so ready. Oh, man, I'm so ready. I get people that talk about y'all a lot. I see the comments in Discord, and I try to hop in and catch y'all live, but by the time y'all go live, I'm already like, I'm done talking football. Like, you get just burnt out. I don't want to hear anything else anymore. But I have hopped in a couple of y'all shows. Y'all do good work, man.
Hey, you do too, man. We appreciate it, man. Hey, it's all love.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, have a good night.
You too.
Hey, go Hogs.
We have Jackson Johnson on next. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, Ty?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Hey, make sure you guys too, really quick. Sorry to cut you off, Jackson. Really quick. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Consider joining Patreon. I'm an independent guy. I'm not under any major corporate umbrella. It's just me, myself. No longer. I had someone ask me about Hogville. I am not affiliated with them at all anymore. I'm by myself, so there's no Hogville checks coming in, okay? It's just your boy here, so make sure if you want to support the channel, you check out that Patreon. It goes a long way. And of course, check out the sponsors as well, Direct Service Overhead and the Oddso Craft Bar and Pizzeria. What do you got for me, Jackson?
Well, before I get to my point, I want to say you are my go-to on Arkansas football. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Anytime. But I will say I couldn't help but know she had a super chat saying y'all should get Malzahn as one choice. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want Malzahn as your head coach.
Wait, really? I didn't see that. I must have missed it. I had a super chat for. Oh, there it is. I missed one. I'm in StreamYard, so I don't get to go back and look at my super chat. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Malzahn always has these Jekyll and Hyde teams. Like today, they whooped Oklahoma State.
They did.
Yes. But before they played Oklahoma State and Cincinnati, they were on a 5-game losing streak, including the blown 28-point lead against Baylor. And he's in his 3rd year at Central Florida. Mm-hmm. So don't want that.
Man, is it year 3 over there already?
Mm-hmm.
Golly, time flies. Yeah, I'm not on the Gus bus. Listen, I'm here in Springdale, and I'm going to tell you that's a big, big name when it comes to the Springdale folks. There is some Springdale money. We know that there's some people that have some influence around here that are in Springdale. And I can tell you they're friends with the Malzahns. And that is going to be something it wouldn't shock me if they make a decision. I'm not saying they're going to. Wouldn't shock me if his name gets called up for whatever stupid ass reason.
Yeah. I just came by here to tell you I'm so sorry about what happened today against Auburn.
Well, again, fortunate, and Hog fans definitely appreciate that. I mean, it's been rough. This has been the roughest 11 years in Razorback football history. I'm 40 years old. I know the 90s weren't so great, but, man, Houston Nutt kind of brought everything back around. Petrino, it felt like the promised land. Here we go, baby. Here's our promised land. We're going to win 9, 10, 11 games a year. That's what we could do. And then the blonde on the back of the bike just screwed it all up. And what has followed has been the worst 11 years in Razorback football history, dating back to before Frank Broyles in the 1950s.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. What are the plans now for Arkansas football? Like, what
do you
now?
Mean? Well, we have a saying around here, Jackson. We have a saying. And this is from the crowd. Maybe they have a point. And chat knows what I'm about to do. They know what I'm about to say.
All right.
Who you going to get? Okay? Who you going to get? That's what you're going to get from fans. Who you going to get? You fire Sam Pittman. What do? I don't know. One thing that we don't look at hard enough is the optics of the program. The optics of the program are that, listen, every coach has been fired since Petrino for on-field performance. Petrino was fired for off-field. I don't think any coach is going to fault the U of A for that. Coordinators fired before the end of the year. Coaches fired before the end of the year. It's not a good look. Your ceiling looks to be like 8 regular season wins. That's the best any coach has done since 2011, since Bobby Petrino. It's not a super attractive job. I love doing the who you going to get stuff. I love doing it. It's fun. You're going to hear it even next year if they do keep him. It's going to always be the same fans saying that. But there is a certain level of truth to it. I don't know, and I'm not saying I side with them necessarily, but there is some truth to it. I don't know that this job is super appealing right now. Basketball, okay, that's a different story. My God, baseball, when Dave Van Horn, if he ever retires, holy shit, that's going to be a must-get job for any coach in the country. Basketball, you might be able to say the same here in the next couple of years if Musk continues to do what he's been doing, which I think he will.
I think y'all could see a Final Four trip, honestly. I mean, I'm not a big basketball expert, but I could see a Final Four trip down Fayetteville Way one of these days.
Oh,
that'd
for
be
sure,
cool.
yeah.
But I'm just like, not so sure someone would be a good fit either.
I mean, what you loved about Pittman was he was a great culture get, right? I mean, he fit the culture. That's what we heard over and over. I don't know that matters. Like, did Nick Saban really mesh with LSU? Where did he come from? Big Ten country. That's a different. It's apples and oranges, I know. But then the same thing happened at Alabama. Les Miles had some success. Say what you want about how things ended, but he certainly had some success at LSU. That wasn't a great culture fit. Hell, Brian Kelly's not a great culture fit. No. I don't know that I buy that necessarily. Especially when you're trying to recruit Georgia, when you're trying to recruit the Panhandle or near that region, right? I don't know what culture has to do with any of that. Like, just hit your pipelines, recruit from the inside out, meaning the line of scrimmage and then the inside out, and try to wrap a fence around the state as best you can, which they're gonna lose another big time prospect, I feel like, here soon. They've already lost the number 1 player in the state. Sam's not hitting any marks, man. And again, I don't know. Someone's gonna have to explain to me what they mean by culture fit. I don't know what that means. Petrino wasn't a culture fit. Only the closest thing he has is he was the head coach at Louisville and he was offensive coordinator at Auburn, but he sure as shit wasn't a culture fit here. What mattered was the offense on the field. That's what mattered. The product on the field is what mattered.
Well, he definitely wants someone that can win the big games as well. Because, I mean, as I said, the last time I was on here, when y'all were at 2-6, that's a nice cigar, by the way. I'm gonna have to get one of those. One of these I did say that Elko would make a great coaching candidate for Arkansas. Because, I mean,
I've heard that name brought up before. I mean, right now, like we have a who you gonna get coaching search in Discord for Patreon supporters. We're gonna throw all kinds of names. I'm sure. I don't think his name's on there yet, but it probably will be. I'm not even sold that they're going to do anything necessarily, especially if they get past FIU. But, I guess we'll see. I got to get on to the next caller. I appreciate you, Jackson.
Thank you for having me on. Well, you did tell me to call back on here next time there was a call in.
Well, there you go, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Absolutely. All right. We got someone who's been on here multiple times. I am Prue. What's up, man?
Which this is a happier time to be calling, but I'm just gonna vomit my opinions real quick.
Do it.
And I'll not to sound like a political rant, but I'm gonna present problems with no solution.
Okay.
And so if Arkansas would have even if they would have lost today, if the product was respectable, if the fight was there, I think Sam keeps his job come Monday. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Oh, you think he's going to get fired?
I do.
This weekend?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's my hot take. Feel free to light me up in the chat. But that's my hot take. I don't know who you're going to get. I get the state of high school football as a whole for Arkansas, but what the gentleman mentioned earlier, there are a couple of hot products running around, and I don't hear any chatter about it being connected to the U of A.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should go get Oregon's coach because Oregon has an unbelievable amount of money, but the state of Oregon as a whole does not produce great high school football talent. They fish Washington and California. And also they're such a high profile brand that people just gravitate towards them.
Yeah.
But that being said, the state as a whole, is my point, is not that great for high school football. So they have a brand that's been a brand for decades. But it's a bit of a long shot, but it can happen. You just have to have the right people. It's going to be hard as hell building a dynasty-esque, whatever that may look like, program in Fayetteville. But dang it, if you can, I'm just thinking about the years with Houston Nutt. It was like 8-9 wins, I felt like, every year. And you lose some games you shouldn't, but dude, you always won one or two that you shouldn't also. And I don't know who that's going to be, but I love Sam. But this ain't it, man. This ain't it. There was no life on that team from the time they walked out onto the field until the time that game was over. There was no life. I don't know what happened between last weekend and now.
I have no idea. I don't know either.
The sum of these parts should not equal this, unless we were told a lie. Unless these recruits are garbage, or these coaching add-ons are garbage. I don't know. I don't know which it is. But the sum of these parts is not adding up. And I'll shut up and hear what you have to say.
I appreciate you, man, as always, calling in. You've become a regular as a caller, so I appreciate you.
Oh, by the way, thank you. By the way, Woo Pig podcast, it was awesome seeing him on the show.
Yeah, that's the first time they've called in. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a fun show, man. So I'm happy that I have your two shows to piggyback off of, because I need more independent hog content, and this is great. But yeah, man, I don't think he makes it past Sunday night. I don't
know, man. I mean, you have that kind of weekend. It's up to him if him and Hunter have a meeting tonight or tomorrow, you got to justify why I don't fire your ass right now.
Right.
Like, I don't get how you could watch as an athletic director, as a board of trustee member, as a major booster, watch that and go, yeah, no, I'm excited about the future. We saw a small glimpse of Criswell, which I was happy to see. I was happy to see him in junk time. I really was. It was good to see him actually run the ball a little bit tonight. We finally got to see that, something I was kind of curious about. But that, I mean, there's no guarantees anymore. There's no guarantees. There's nothing that makes you feel like as a fan, well, these players are going to be thrilled about coming back next year. I mean, outside of playing time, and even that might, who knows if that's weighing on their minds right now. It might be, this is embarrassing. I got to get out of here.
My last thing I'll say is, dude, I feel bad for guys like KJ and Rocket, where, especially for Rocket, where there seemed to be some stock there last season, looking ahead, and now
no chance.
There's no crumbs.
Yeah, there's no chance.
And I remember seeing other interviews before the season started with guys like Pooh Paul, and I know he's out, but other interviews from independent sources saying, like, man, these Hogs are going to surprise people this year, and just the promise. There were so many promises of just improvement, and it's been the extreme opposite, unfortunately.
It has.
I think even with guys like Pooh Paul, if they were on the field, I think you'd have the same product. I really do.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think too, the defense collapsed like they did tonight. Like I know Auburn they're headed in the right direction. Like, as an offensive football team, they've been getting better and better. I mentioned this all week. They're getting better. Well, mostly Friday, but I did not expect to see that. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact the defense just folded like a cheap Walmart lawn chair. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, man, I'm going to hop off of here.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you calling as always.
I'm going to hang around. Appreciate it, Si.
All right, I appreciate you, man.
Bye.
You guys make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. We had someone else up, Slap, and he disappeared. Slap, come back. If you want to come talk, man, the link is provided for you guys. Right there it is again, once in chat. If you want to call in. Defense checked out in the first half. Bro, they checked out before they got off the bus. I again, there's just no excuse. I went on a huge swearing F-bomb halftime thing on Discord. And watching this unfold in the second half, we all knew that this thing was not going to get any better in the second half. I don't know. He says he's not going to last the weekend. I know there's a lot of you that hope that comes true. I've said all along, if you don't get to 5 this year, I don't know that he should keep his job, but at 5 at least look respectable at one point in time. My God, now they're going to be lucky to get 4. I mean, the further south from 6 you go, how do you excuse what you've seen? And you've seen this unfold twice. Mississippi State, one of the worst SEC defenses, and you couldn't put up more than a field goal. What are you doing? What the hell? And then tonight, what is going on with this freaking football team, dude? It's so infuriating. I'm going to have a heart attack either here now, later tonight, or next weekend when we watch them struggle against FIU. Maybe win by 3 or 4 points. You shouldn't be this level of bad 4 years in. And here's the thing. When Sam got hired, I thought I was wrong. I said Sam is an in-between hire. He's going to at least, I think, leave it better than he found it. Because, my God, anything's better than what you had under Chad, right? And especially with him bringing in these big names, Kendall Briles, Barry Odom, who we thought at the time was going to be a slam dunk. You know, you love Justin Stepp at wide receiver, coaching them. And the truth is, he's going to leave it about the same. If he's given another year, guys, if he's given another year, what's going to be left of this team? His job all offseason, it's not just the portal and high school recruiting. It's going to be about keeping these guys believing in what you're doing. And if he can't, it's going to be a nightmare next year. He won't leave it better. It'll be about the same, maybe a step better than the way he left it, because he is a better coach than Chad Morris. There's no doubt about that, okay? He is a better coach, a better option than Chad was. But again, the point is leaving it better than you found it. Remember, Houston Nutt made that comment about how, well, when I got hired, we weren't sure we could beat SMU. And when I left, you know, it's a different story. I mean, he got fired after winning 18 games his final 2 years. Now, that was 10 years. I get it. But holy God, this has completely regressed. And I can't believe how much it's regressed since the 2021 season. It's like you found it it was a shit pile when you found it in 2020. Through the COVID year, you fought, and somehow you put a better product on the field than what we had witnessed the previous 3 years. And then 2021 comes, it's like, oh my God, this team, can they do this every year? And the fact of the matter is, no, it might actually be about as bad as when Sam took the job. He may not leave Arkansas in a better place than where he found it. We got another caller here. Chris.
Hey, buddy.
Oh. Can you lower your... I'm getting major feedback.
All right. I'm trying to turn off the... Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. You still got feedback?
It's pretty bad. Are you calling on your phone?
I am. I'm sorry.
It's okay. How about you just say what you got to say?
All right. I'm living in Florida now. I've been a Razorback fan for a long time, and it's disturbing to see a season like this, the way it's affecting KJ, obviously Rocket, and it's not fair. But the recruits, you know, you're not drawing anybody because you're seeing great players digress and miss opportunities. I mean, who wants to come to a program, you know, where you can't put together an offense? You can't. I mean, the defense was decent this year, but
yeah,
it's devastating. It's devastating, and it's not like Chad Morris era. Obviously, it's not, but it's disappointing. It really is. And I've been the guy that's always said, "Who are you going to get? You know, who's the coach you're going to get?" You can't fire Sam until you have somebody. You can't just desperately hire somebody.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a struggle, and our expectations, maybe we're delusional and we think that Arkansas should be a great program or a decent program, and maybe, I mean, we haven't been good in a long time. A long time.
Well, I don't think it's delusional to ask for more than 4 wins. Right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think 7-8 wins ought to be attainable. I mean, it has before.
But look at who we're playing. We're playing, you know, Hugh
Yeah.
Freeze and Auburn. LSU is getting better. Alabama is obviously what it is. Ole Miss is what it is. I mean, to be an Arkansas team that actually rises above those programs, we're gonna have to get somebody on fire. We're gonna have to get the fire coach.
Be nice.
And if we don't, then we're not gonna ever get above any of those programs.
Yeah.
I
don't disagree with that.
All right, I'll let you go, man. Calling from Florida.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm a follower. Thank you.
Hey, thanks,
Thanks, man.
Good night.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, there is the like I said at the beginning, the who you going to get crowd, they're not entirely wrong. It's not a super attractive job right now. It's just not. This is the rock in the hard place that you're stuck in between, and there's just no easy answers. You may have to settle for another young up-and-coming coach. People mention Rhett Lashley, who's another Springdale guy, played at Arkansas. He played at Shiloh Christian. The transfer portal, he absolutely crushed it. Rhett crushed it at SMU. He got some guys to follow him from Miami. He did a great job there in bringing some guys in. I don't know that Rhett's going to be a guy. When I mention him here, it's about 50-50 with you guys, and I think fans kind of feel that way. They feel like that's either too low of a hire or that he may not even want to come here or whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm for or against it, but that might be the caliber of guy you're kind of going after if you do walk away from Sam this year. I don't know what Hunter does. I don't know that he fires Sam, tonight. I don't know. I'm going to go watch the post game here in a little bit. It's just crazy to think that I don't think they've developed talent at all since he's been here. I shouldn't say at all. I mean, they've had draft picks. Treylon Burks was a first-round guy, but here's the thing. Treylon Burks would have been a first-rounder just about anywhere he went. He helped field a better product on the field, right? He helped field a better offense. But, man, since then it's just gotten worse, and I don't see them. There's not a plethora of guys you're talking about getting drafted in the first 3 or 4 rounds. I mean, they might have 3 guys drafted this year, if that. And that's usually a pretty good indicator of where you're at when you look at the body of work in terms of draft picks and how well you're developing the talent that you're bringing in, how well you're developing the guys out of high school, and how well you're developing the guys out of the portal. Drew Sanders was a 3rd-round pick. He was an awfully good player, right? I mean, I like Armstrong. I mean, Criswell, I'm excited to watch Criswell in the future. People think I'm anti-Criswell. I'm not. Again, my point about that whole situation is it doesn't matter who the hell is back there getting the ball. It doesn't matter. You're going to run for your life. I'm glad he had a touchdown against the Auburn Scrubs, but, man, do you really think the product would be better with him back there at quarterback compared to KJ? KJ is the only guy that gives you any kind of a shot because he can run through players. But, again, Criswell gave me a little bit of hope. I like the way he ran tonight. What's up, Mr. T-Dub? What's going on, man? Oh, you're muted. Hang on.
I got it. You got me
there
now?
You go. I got you.
I was excited that Fayetteville Junior High girls soccer got to play today. That was, I'm sure, a great thrill. No, on a serious note, I think maybe that was Sam's. I was convinced that was Sam's last game. I did not think he would make it to the press conference. I watched the presser, and there was only one tough question by the media. Hat tip to Trey Biddy for asking Sam if he feared for his job, and Sam was very defiant. He said he's not worried at all. So I think maybe Hunter quite possibly told him before the locker room. I believe Sam looked at him, probably said, "Where do we stand?" And Hunter says, "Hey, just keep fighting. Just keep." So I don't know that I highly doubt he'll have a job tomorrow. I don't think he should. And you know me, Ty, I've been in the camp of defending Sam. Give him another year because of the recruiting class, etc. But you cannot defend that performance. The team let go today. The team let go today. That's why Hunter fired Chad. He said when he saw the kids were not having fun and they had let go of the rope, that's when he let go of Chad. And then the other thing I would say is, you know, we as fans deserve better than this. We are a loyal state. We are a loyal fan base. Every content creator on YouTube knows if you talk about Razorback football, your views will triple and quadruple because we're hungry. We support our team. We support our state. And this excludes you because I don't consider you the mainstream of Razorback media. But I think a lot, maybe a big reason that we cannot get over the hump is we do have a media that could care less. They're just getting paid. Their pay don't change whether we win or lose. They do not press Sam. How he did not get pressed in that press conference almost to the point of tears is beyond me. How no one said, would you explain to the fans? Would you look at the camera and talk to the fans? How can we expect to be any better when we have nobody to hold them accountable in the mainstream? And I hope you know I didn't mean that as a slight when I said you're not a mainstream guy.
Oh no, no. I knew what you meant. No, I knew what you meant. I appreciate it.
You're all of these other guys in there who, man, I just about 1% of respect for. Hat tip again to Biddy. He at least asked him. Nobody else even remotely asked a question that would ruffle his feathers, or not to be hateful or rude or mean, but just ask a question that we have questions about. Nothing. So, you know, if they're the voice of the fans, then I guess fans really need to start voting with their feet. I hope they don't get more than 10,000 people in the stands collectively through the end of the year. If that's what it takes, stop buying merchandise. Because the media is not going to speak for us. Sam's their buddy. They're too afraid of the SID and everybody else. They don't want to ruffle feathers. That's fine. Let the fans speak. It was pitiful. We couldn't tackle. We couldn't block. I think you just go scorched earth and you nuke everybody at the end of the year. But definitely do not think Sam deserves another week. So Ty, I'm going to jump off here.
Oh well, let me get something clear. So you also believe he's going to be fired this weekend?
Yeah, I don't. I believe there'll be a press conference tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And if there's not, you'll be lucky to get 15,000 people in the stand Saturday against FIU.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it will be after that.
I don't know about 15,000 because those tickets are sold. They're going to find someone to go. You're not wrong though. It's going to be a significant drop, especially against someone like an FIU. You're not wrong. It's going to be a significant drop.
I don't think you could have fielded a basketball team with the fans left in the stands by the fourth quarter today.
That was crazy, wasn't it? They were leaving by the halftime. They were showing them leaving.
I just say this, you know, I think we as the fans, we suffer from not battered women syndrome, but battered Razorback syndrome. We just come back for the beating every week. Every year we get hyped up. We buy into the hype coming out of the hill, and then we just get beat down only to do it all over again. And at some point, this got to stop. Last thing I'll say, Ty, is this. If we don't get this next hire right, Razorback football will never be relevant in our lifetimes. That's it. I'm out. See ya.
All right. I appreciate your call, man. I'll talk to you later. All right. We got another one up. Unbiased. What's up, man? You're muted. There you go.
Good evening. First, I'll start off saying this. Sam Pittman's a good guy. I like Sam Pittman a lot. I appreciate him coming to Arkansas and helping us in the worst period of Arkansas football history.
Right. Yeah.
But I said this. I said this last week before the Florida game. For us to have any opportunity to be successful with Sam Pittman as the coach of Arkansas, we had to win out because we had to have some type of momentum direction, or the next
cutting
season
out?
would be null and void. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Probably my reception. Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What a surprise.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So because we are not winning out, if they do decide to keep Pittman next year, it's going to cost us 2 to 3 years for the program off the bat. So that's the first problem. Keeping Sam Pittman next year does nothing for us. We will lose recruits. There's not going to be any energy going towards the program because there's not going to be any confidence moving forward saying that, hey, I think the program is going in this direction. And these recruits are looking for their future. And they're not seeing a future for themselves at Arkansas because right now our best players are regressing under the program right now, unfortunately. And again, I love my Razorbacks. I always will. I'll support them even when they stink. But right now, Yurchek got a decision to make. Maybe he don't fire him now, but he got to let him go. He has to let him go this year for you to give the football program an actual chance. Now, are we going to stink next year if that happens? Probably so. But you have to make a sacrifice, and a tough call has to be made. A decision has to be made. Yurchek is about to fully earn his paycheck off of this football decision.
Woo, that's it right there. That's it right there. I mean, he's Hunter's got to earn his paycheck, man. Now I know he just sold his house. There's a lot of
but he had already bought another house. That was bull crap. I hate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that because I thought that was a lot of trolly type of stuff just to get clicks and people to pay attention to something. Knowing doggone well he already purchased another house before selling that house. But I work at nighttime and I woke up and I happened to wake up right before halftime. I'm thinking, okay, what's the score looking like? When I saw 24-3, I was baffled. And I watched it, and after that fumble by Rocket, I said, it's over. I thought it was over before when I first woke up and saw it, but just seeing that was just like defining the season right there. I don't know what to make of it. The offensive line is so bad for a coach to have a coach who's an offensive line guru, to have an offensive line that has cost this team 3 games at least is truly amazing. Yeah. It's unfathomable.
It is. I mean,
it's like what can you say, right?
There's nothing else I can say. I mean, I could sit here and scream and yell. I had people in Discord saying we want post game, whatever game I went off. The game that I think is Western Kentucky, maybe, where I went off. I went off at halftime, and at that point, by the end of the second half, I was just you're at that level below disappointed, you know, and it's I don't know. I don't know. I said on Twitter I'd do my best to find the words. Maybe I have.
Our soul got taken today, man. Our soul got taken today. We don't have a soul right now. We're soulless beings. We have Razorbacks and football is soulless. But listen, y'all got to understand, everybody that is watching, we are a basketball school. We've been a basketball school for a long time, and nobody wants to recognize that. I
would argue baseball school with basketball about to take its place. When you talk
we've
about
never won a championship in baseball. We won a championship in basketball.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. But you know, we won a national championship in 1964 in football, and that doesn't make us a football school, right?
Yeah, but it'll be 94-64. You know what? We're gonna win a championship in basketball. 64, 94, 2024. Yeah. We're winning a championship in something this year. Either baseball or basketball.
We're on that pace, aren't we? Someone's gonna win
every 30 years. 64, 94, 24 this time.
Yeah, I think basketball is thank God for Eric Musselman, man, and thank God for his ability to just go after the portal players. I feel like Pittman could learn a thing or two, you know.
Yeah, battle is, oh man, beautiful.
He's him, bro.
So
He's
he's an efficient man, my brain went blank. He's an efficient Note.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, Note is still one of my top 10, top 12 favorite Razorbacks ever of basketball.
But he was a volume guy.
He could surpass him in a single season, which is
I
going
mean,
to be
the guy shot 9 times to score 21 points. You don't get no more efficient than that.
I know. And he gets so many quality minutes, bro. I hope he continues doing this all the way through conference play. I'm so excited about him, Mark. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Graham. I can go on and on.
I think I'm the only person that's not overly excited because I'm not happy about his defense. His free throw shooting is still atrocious. Like,
Wait,
you can't shoot 37% from the free throw line. That's crazy.
Who are you talking about?
Graham, he shot 30. Yeah. His free throw percentage has got to improve for him to be on the court during crucial minutes.
I agree. No, I agree with that 100%. He's not a closer. I wouldn't want him on the floor as a closer.
No, and sometimes he gets too happy to try to score and not play the team ball. They need to pass the ball more. Everybody needs to look at what Battle and what man,
Mark?
My brain is not Mark. No, with Battle.
Hang on.
I don't know why my brain is. You know what? Arkansas football didn't fry my brain.
I hadn't anticipated talking a little basketball, but yeah.
Brazil, because they're playing efficient basketball. They're playing efficient basketball. They're picking their shots wisely, and you got to do that. Like Devo don't even have to shoot that much this year. He can do all the other things, and his shot will come to him. You don't need to force anything.
Oh man. Damn, dude, you're making me wish I'd done some call-ins for post-game basketball now. Like I'm over the moon about basketball, man. I don't want to hype anybody up.
As you should. Listen, I'm very excited. The only team I'm really, really concerned about in the SEC is Tennessee, because Tennessee actually got offense now to go with their defense. You know, they're going to be a problem. But back to the football, because this is what it's about. I saw somebody post potential coaches, and none of them are big notable names. But we have to be realistic on who can be a coach. I don't want to hear nobody talk about some Petrino. I don't want to hear. I'm tired of hearing these dumb names thrown out. Petrino, Urban Meyer,
Gruden, baby. Gruden.
Yeah, stop. Y'all guys got to stop the madness, y'all. And this is the problem. We're living in the land of delusion. But you got to understand. I've said this. Us as Arkansas fans, we have PTSD. We do.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
We've been beat to death, man. We've went through a lot here, man. We didn't got grenades blowing up around us. We got PTSD.
Oh man!
But I appreciate you bringing me on time, man. And I hope you have a blessed one. And listen, man, have a beverage, sip slow, and smile. We got basketball and baseball coming. But
that's right, baby. That's right. That's the saving grace is basketball. I appreciate your call, man.
Man, no doubt, good brother.
Take it easy.
You too.
The calls tonight have been on point. I mean, they always are. I don't know that I've had a night where I was like, the calls weren't so great. Every night they're great. Tonight has been great. You guys are killing it on these calls. T-Dub and Unbiased there. And we even had Woo Pig Pod call in. Like, that's awesome, man. You got to love the support, because at the end of the day, the football program sure as shit isn't going to make you feel any better, right? We need to all be able to do this together, man. I do appreciate everybody in chat, too. Y'all are killing it in the chat as well. Someone had mentioned about losing your jobs. I think it was Leslie Byram. I had it up on the screen there about, losing your job. It's not easy. It's not easy. I have been fired before. Only once in my entire life. And it is a rough feeling. It is. It was a long, long, long time ago, but it is a very crappy feeling. The good news for Sam and all the staff is they're going to get paid. If there's any kind of a change, they're going to get paid, and they're gonna land on their feet somewhere. Sam might just retire anyways. I mean, all this pressure on him. I mean, it's real. as he deserves it. He deserves the criticism tonight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He needs to feel this pressure. Hunter Yurchek needs to feel the pressure. The Board of Trustees need to feel the pressure. Everybody needs to feel the pressure. Fans are fed up. Yes, they're happy about Sam turning it around in 2020 and 2021, even 2022, even though you underperformed. But 2023 has been such a step backwards. This is part of it. This is the job, man. You knew that when you took it, Hunter. When you left your old gig down in Texas, you came up here. It's part of it. This is where big time is supposed to be happening, and it's not happening in football. Saving grace for Hunter, and I don't want to throw smoke at him. I mean, the dude has killed it on all of his hires. He's kept the baseball crowd happy with what he's done with Baum. I think he's a fighter for his coaches. You want that out of your athletic director. I think he's done a really good job, but he is going to have to earn his paycheck when it comes to the sport that matters the most in the South, and that is the game of football. And right now, it's left a lot to be desired. We got another call here. Again, if you guys want to call in, Jeremy, what's going on, man? We're going to try and keep this a little brief. What's up?
Okay, are you giving me a hint from the last time I was on, Ty?
I don't remember. Did you carry on last time? I don't remember.
Yeah. No, I'm just messing with you, man. Yeah, I did
okay.
carry on. I rambled for a while. No, I actually will keep it short and sweet. Just exhausted. I feel like, and I could be completely wrong. Sorry, I was just tuning in. Had to put the kids to sleep.
No, I hear
maybe you guys touched on this. Maybe you didn't. But this is just kind of the way that I feel. Then I'll let you take it from there. But
okay,
I feel like today was kind of closure for me, because I had kind of been, on the fence about Pittman and, whether we should keep him, the pros and cons to both sides. And I feel like today was kind of the nail in the coffin for me. Love the guy. He's a great man. I know somebody personally that knows Sam Pittman, and he has said that he is a very honest man. He's a great guy. But like you just said, this is the South, and football is what matters the most. And if you can't put an adequate product on the field on Saturdays, then you're probably not going to be here for very long. So that's kind of where I stand, man. I think it's time personally. I mean, you sit here at 3-7, 1-6 in the conference. I mean, so that's just kind of how I feel. Again, don't know if you guys touch on that, but Ty, I appreciate it, man. And I'll listen to your show from here. Take care.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Again, calls just continue to be awesome. I appreciate you guys for calling in. Mr. T-Dub there quoting, "The days of getting blown out at home are over." I do remember that quote, something along those lines. Yeah. I mean, they're not, Sam. They're not. And what you did tonight, you talked so much about delivering a good product for the home crowd. They didn't get it tonight, man. And not only that, but it was just abysmal. I mean, what happened tonight is a fireable offense. Okay? What happened tonight, when you stack everything else that's happened this year, I would even go as far as saying what happened last year. Losing some games you shouldn't have lost, losing to Liberty and losing to, LSU and losing some of these games that they lost. They had no business losing. I thought they were better. I thought they were way better than 6 wins. I thought they were 8 or 9 win team last year. And I thought the same thing again this year. T-Dub brought up something earlier. He said, we bought into the hype. Guys, I was a part of that. I'm going to own it right now, right here. Right. I think I already have, but I'll do it again. I'm going to own it. I thought Enos, I was bought in, thinking that 2015 was a similar situation. And, I don't want to apologize for it, but I will. I'll apologize. I did. I bought in. I don't think I tried to convince you guys that you should too. I know that I said, I'm bought in. Here's what I like. And I threw it all out there. And I've already had people go back to that video and some of those lives and hurl shit at me. Fine, do it. I mean, that's fine. I'm a grown man. I got thick skin. I bought in. I really did. I thought they were going to be a hell of a lot better than what we thought last year. And I thought they're going to be a hell of a lot better than what we've been given so far this year. And I own it. I own it. I was wrong. This has been terrible. I said after Florida, they're winning out. And then I said on Friday, I rewatched Auburn, watched some highlights, listened to some other podcasts, listened to the homegrown folks, and I listened to out-of-state folks. And the more I watched, the more I listened, the more I looked at numbers. all the stuff added up to me was I don't think they're going to beat Arkansas, or they're not going to beat Auburn. However, I did not think what happened tonight was going to happen. I thought it would be down to a field goal, down to the final drive kind of game, and Arkansas typically loses those, and that's kind of what I was thinking. Also, the offensive line is who we thought they were. They're still who we thought they were, even after the Florida game, and we continue to see that, and it's not gotten better. The regression on the offensive line, again, when Sam Pittman coached offensive line for 30 years, to think that they're this horrific on the offensive line is appalling. I mean, it is embarrassing how bad they are. I don't know if Sam gets fired this weekend. I don't know that Hunter Yurachek wants to be known as the guy that's fired 2 coaches now before it's even over with. I don't know if he wants to be known as that guy. That might scare some potential coaches off. I don't know. Would I stand in the way of it? Hell no. Hell no. I would not stand in the way of and I agree, Sam is a good dude. He's walked up to me in practice before, put his arm on my shoulder, and said something. I don't even remember. I couldn't understand him. Mason Choate was standing next to me, and Mason asked me, what did he say? I said, I don't know what he said. He's a good dude. You could tell, like, he looks to me like he's worn out, if I'm being honest. He looks tired when I see him at practice. God bless him. I know there's a lot on his shoulders, and I don't say that as a dig at him. I really believe he wanted to turn this thing around and make it a far better program than what he found. And unfortunately, man, it's just not happened. And they've regressed since 2020. They're worse than they were in 2020. Mississippi State was the first sign in terms of conference play of just how bad things really are. And then it repeated tonight, only this time the defense decided to take a giant dump on the field. And listen, I give all the credit in the world to the defense. Travis Williams, I'm still all in on. I'm still all in on what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. I think eventually just caught up to them. They finally had that night I was regretting. And unfortunately, the offense did exactly what we thought they would have done prior to the Enos firing, or before Enos was terminated. Didn't think Kenny Guyton would have this rough of a night, and he did. Even with how skeptical I am of that offensive line, There is, again, I hope I found the words tonight. I don't know if I did or not. Again, I feel like the callers have helped fill in for some of that. Hugh Freeze talking to KJ after the game. Anything to it? I guess we'll find out. That's the other part of this. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's going to matter what they do, whether they fire him or keep him. You're going to see. I don't know how you don't see a mass exodus of players. I think that's going to happen regardless. If that's the thinking, well, if we fire Sam, if Hunter Yurachek is thinking, if we fire Sam, we're screwed. We're in trouble as far as recruiting. We're not going to. I don't know that it matters. Now, you probably will have some success in the portal, but they clearly, oh, man. The work they got to do in the portal. I mean, good God, they better get every offensive lineman they want. Guys, they've whiffed on 2 4-star prospects out of high school at offensive line, both of which were tackles. They whiffed on both of them. They're going to whiff on more. They're going to whiff on some guys in the portal. I don't know that anybody could do a better job recruiting-wise than what Sam has done. It's the development side that I've not been too thrilled about. Listen, Treylon Burks, again, is kind of the example that some people kind of hurl out there as well. Look at Treylon Burks. Bro, Burks was going to be a first-round pick wherever he went. His God-given raw talent is going to put him through. Right. I mean, that's what got him through. His raw talent is what got him. I mean, unfortunately, it's not worked out at the next level. We got another caller here. Philip. Ooh, headphones.
I got headphones. Yeah, I got headphones.
Yeah. You got them on?
Yeah, they're on.
Ooh. I got
major feedback. Major feedback? Hold on just 1 minute. Is that better?
I don't know.
Is it?
Nope, it's not.
Oh.
Well, how about you say your piece?
All right. I was going to mention what I said in my super chat a while ago. The sounds of the PA was echoing throughout the whole game. I mean, it was that empty. It was that quiet. That was just nuts to me. It was loud on the television, how loud the echo. Normally the fans are going crazy. But I mean, you could tell when they started leaving, it was high school stadium bad, like a bad high school team's PA system, just echoing. I mean, it was so quiet. The fans were either disinterested or gone home, and you could tell it without even seeing the stands. You could tell it.
I'm gonna mute you for just a second so I can avoid the feedback here really quick. Yeah, they showed the stands. Ooh. Yeah, let's keep it muted here for a second, man. Let me keep you muted. The feedback is just loud and clear. I'm glad I'm so clear on your end though. That's sometimes been a problem for other callers. It showed the stands. It was emptying out. I did, by the way, I saw your super chat. I put it on the screen. Thank you for calling it out though, because I'm in StreamYard. StreamYard doesn't let me see. Like I have to just catch super chat. So I may not bat 1,000 tonight on super chat, but doing my best. You can see it in the question is, of course, moving forward, what's the attendance going to be like? What's the attendance going to be like for FIU? What's the attendance going to be like for Mizzou? I don't think it's real big. What do you say?
Yeah, does that sound better? I killed this.
Hello.
I killed the headphones.
It's a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, I think another point I wanted to mention was Mizzou destroyed Tenor today. So what hope do we have that there's another SEC victory out there? I just don't see anything.
Yeah. Mizzou's legit. I said in Discord today I'm buying stock. And that was before they played Tennessee. In fact, I switched my pick to Missouri winning that game. They're legit. They're good.
And also, would you think Drink would come back to Arkansas?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Mizzou's going to try and lock him in. And so then you're up against whether or not you could even outbid Mizzou for him at this point, and how attractive is Arkansas compared to where Mizzou's headed right now. I mean, because he's killing it in recruiting too.
As far as Sam goes, I think he's been told he's gone at the end of the season. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's been let go, but they're encouraging him to stay the rest of the year. And I mean, he's not going to finish above the 500 mark, so the buyout's not going to be what it could have been. If he had have won out this year and you wanted to go someplace else or another direction, then you would have really been up a creek. But at least he'll be below 500 for his career.
Well, I could be mistaken, but I think he's locked in though, right? Didn't that win against Florida lock him in? Because it's based on 2021, and what I understood, I don't know if it's true or not, but from what I understand, he's locked in now. So
I forgot about the new stipulation that 2020 didn't count.
Yeah, I think they're. That feedback's killing me. Hang on, I got to mute you for a second. I still think that they knew what they were doing when they offered him the extension. I do think they could probably reach out to someone and get that buyout. And remember too, it's not like they pay the buyout all up front. Like it's, from what I understand, it's like an overtime deal. They pay. That's why you hear these coaches that aren't coaching anymore and they're still getting paid from whatever school fired them. So it's not going to be all you have to throw however much money at him to whatever, but you do have to pay the buyout. So, I mean, if anything, if Hunter keeps him along, I think it's going to be because they're pals. And I hate to say that. I think if he does keep him on, it's going to be because they're pals. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Oh, if he keeps him, they can ride off into the sunset together.
Fans aren't going to be thrilled, are they?
No. No. Why invest in something has a terminal defect?
You're not wrong.
And then why would parents send their kids to go to the place and play for someone who's not going to be a winner or move them forward in their career?
Yeah. You're not wrong.
All right, man. I'll get off here.
I appreciate
feedback. Sorry about the feedback.
No, you're good. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Even people with headphones still get the feedback. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know. All I can say is I guess turn down your headphones, but then you can't hear me. So I don't know how you're supposed to do that. But yeah, I don't know what the situation is. I really think at this point, if they keep Sam, it's just not going to be a good look. And I do think, listen, they can go to somebody. They have before. They can go to somebody and, hey, we'll pay this much if you guys help us, whatever. That will be something that probably ends up happening. Jetty buddy, damn, y'all still here, bro. I mean, it's only been an hour 20. I've had 2-hour long lives. What are you talking about? Yeah, let's see here. Are we still paying the Chad Morris buyout? That's a good question. I don't know if they are or not. I have no idea. That'd be a good question. I don't know. I don't think so. Or are they? They might be. Hell, I don't know. I know they were paying Nutt there for a while, and then they were paying Bielema, and there was some kind of challenge from the university about Bielema seeking gainful employment. And I think Bielema won that, and then Arkansas had to pay that, or whoever, boosters, whoever helped pay that. I'm not really sure. Yes, this year we paid him 3.5. Are you talking about Jimmy? Are you talking about Morris? They paid him 3.5. Doesn't that make you sick? And he goes to Illinois and he has at least one really good year. I don't know that they're any good this year. It just sucks, man. You got to pay these guys to go coach elsewhere because they couldn't get it done here. It makes you sick. It really does. Chad Morris last year. We have to pay. Okay. Don't think we hire a decent head coach if we determine to do so, says Ashton. Man, it just sucks that you can't. It just sucks that they can't find the guy. And now you're stuck between this rock and a hard place. It's tough, man. Watching today's game was worse than prepping for colonoscopy. Oh, man. Appreciate the comments, guys. The super chats have also been lively. We've had 3. We had this one, Lane Kiffin, Tom Herman, or Gus Malzahn. I don't know that any of those 3. I don't know. Philip White, it was so bad. You could hear we talked about that, the echo. And then Mr. T-Dub, the days of getting blown out are over, quoting Sam Pittman from earlier, or from when he was hired. Jeff Brom, yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could go on and on with names. At this point, I just want to see what happens next. And it sucks. I mean, as an independent creator, as someone who, I mean, this is a small business. Pig Trail Media LLC is my small business, right? And win or lose, I'm here, and that's part of the package for sponsors. They're going to get me for these post game shows, and they're going to get me for the week for the 2 lives a week, and for whatever content they get their logo slapped on the screen. And you know what? When they lose, fans want to talk about it. When they win, fans want to talk about it. But there's still this just massive disappointment among fans, and we've got to sit here and try to talk it out and all kind of have this therapy together. I'm ready to be psyched about football and have a good feeling that it's going to be backed up. I didn't have a great feeling that it was going to be backed up this year because of what I had seen the year before. I just thought maybe Enos would rekindle those 2015 spirits, and it didn't happen. In fact, it was so bad that it looked like Chad Morris, right? Especially the Mississippi State game. Then you fire him, you bring in Kenny Guyton, you see what happens against Florida, and it's like, oh, maybe this is the new norm, and here we are again. I did not expect Arkansas to get blown out tonight. I didn't expect that at all. I did say anything could happen, but I did not see this coming, and it just really sucks. We love this team. It's the only one we have. I mean, there you go, Daniel Bullock. I don't know. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm seeing several new names. Make sure you guys hit the sub. Support a local small channel that talks to the Arkansas, the locals. I talk to the local market. Make sure you get in on it. You subscribe. You help support an independent channel. But who are we going to get? There it is. We had to end the night on that. Who you going to get? That's the truth of it, man. Now we prepare for FIU, and I know I'm going to talk FIU this week. I know we're going to break them down on Friday, but in reality, it's switched over. Like basketball it's taking over, and didn't expect it early on in this season before the football season. I did not expect it to take over like this. I really thought November was going to be a fun month for Arkansas football, and it's just not the case. We have completely flipped over basketball. Of course, I'm going to break down FIU. I mean, I don't know. Is that a guaranteed win? I'm looking around. Is that a guaranteed win? I mean, I know they're bad. But hell, you struggle to beat a horrific Kent State team. I mean, nothing's a given for this football team other than L's, constantly holding L's. It's atrocious. I've used the last 5 years of Razorback football to teach my sons about temperance and patience in the midst of justified rage. God bless. That's it right there. James Swope says, no, Ty. FIU could best us. Nothing's a given, right? Be sure to like, subscribe, join, and there you go, right there. Justin Kipper's got you. That's going to do it. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to be like you. I'm probably going to watch Pittman's post game and keep drinking whiskey. We're going to do a Discord XP spin for any Patreon supporters. You're going to get some XP tonight. Any Discord supporter is going to get some XP tonight. As long as you're in Discord and you're in that XP, we'll chat. That's gonna happen next. That's where I'm going next. We're going down to Discord. We're going to do the wheel spin. Go be a part of it. It's free XP. It's free. Assuming you win on the wheel, you're going to get some XP tonight. Maybe everybody gets some XP as long as you show up. I don't know. So make sure you're there if you're in our Discord. We'll do that next following this. I appreciate you guys. We're going to cover basketball this week. Of course, I'm going to cover a little bit of football, but oh, man. That's it. I appreciate you, and I will. I'll see you guys next week again. For Discord members, I'll see you here in a little bit. All right? Okay. Woo pig.
At Direct Service Garage Doors, we are your one-stop shop for all things garage door. From garage door repair and broken spring replacement to new garage doors and openers, we do it all. We're proud to be among the highest-rated local garage door companies in all of Northwest Arkansas. Our highly trained technicians are available 24 hours a day at no extra cost to you. So if you have an emergency, call us today, 479-203-5880, or visit our website at directservicenwa.com. Don't wait days. We'll fix it now.